The film starts with a phone alarm waking up a young girl. She tries to wake her grandmother, but her grandmother doesn't move. At the same time, a man in a car is angry on the phone. He hangs up, gets a flower sign from the trunk, and puts it in an alley. He walks to a house and asks a man with glasses for warm water and a towel. He uses these to gently clean the grandmother's body, not knowing the little girl is watching. She gets scared and tries to hit him with a stick. The man locks her in another room to stop her. He continues to take care of the grandmother's body until the family arrives. The daughter-in-law notices a missing ring and blames the morticians, who say they didn't take it. After proving they are innocent, they leave. The grandmother's body is put in a coffin and placed in a van. The young girl, Wu Xiaowen, is still locked up but learns from her cousin that her grandmother is in the van. She escapes through a window and runs after the van. At the cremation site, the van stops in front of a funeral service house. Imo San-mei, the bald man, goes inside and gets a peach from a friend. He reads a breakup message from his girlfriend and leaves quickly. Driving fast, he sees Xiaowen talking to a street cleaner but ignores her. He goes to a closed clothing store, bangs on the door, and a woman opens it. She is his girlfriend. They argue when another man comes out of the bathroom. San-mei fights the man and loses. The couple tells him they are getting married, and the woman is pregnant with the other man's baby. She says San-mei wouldn't be a good father and ends their relationship. Angry, San-mei leaves. Back home, Xiaowen follows San-mei, looking for her grandmother. He doesn't care about her, even when her uncle asks him to help. San-mei pushes Xiaowen out of his house. While standing outside his house smoking, San-mei was approached by a neighbor who suggested he join his wedding business, but San-mei said no. He looked at his old funeral services sign next to his neighbor's clean wedding organizer sign and felt sad as night came and it started to rain. San-mei stared out the window, smoking. His friends tried to talk to him about his problems, but San-mei felt uncomfortable and thought they were making fun of him. Suddenly, Xiaowen burst in, sweaty and upset, asking San-mei about her grandmother. Her uncle showed up, confused about why Xiaowen wouldn't leave. He then had an idea to leave Xiaowen with San-mei. At first, San-mei didn't want to, but his friend with glasses agreed after the uncle paid him. They said they would take care of Xiaowen for 3 days. San-mei's female friend helped Xiaowen dry off and change clothes that her uncle had brought. Xiaowen ate noodles and asked for garlic, like she always did with her grandmother. She dropped some noodles and quickly picked them up. San-mei told her not to eat food from the floor, but Xiaowen said her grandmother let her do it. After dinner, Xiaowen asked San-mei to play a game she used to play with her grandmother. San-mei saw a gold ring near Xiaowen and joked about using it as a bet, not knowing Xiaowen had taken it to keep it safe from her family. The four of them played the game together, and even though they were adults playing against a child, they all lost. Later that night, San-mei was woken up by dripping from the bed above him. He found out that Xiaowen had wet her pants because she was scared of creepy dolls in the bathroom. San-mei washed her blanket and showed her the dolls to help her not be afraid. His friend suggested that Xiaowen sleep in San-mei's bed while he took a chair. The next morning, San-mei was woken up by a call from his father, who asked him to bring a special red book to their meeting. San-mei searched for the book but realized he had washed it the night before, ruining the writing inside. This mistake meant he had to wait another month to get the house from his father. San-mei felt stressed about getting the house. His father scolded him for being impatient and suspected San-mei had hidden reasons for wanting the house quickly. He warned San-mei that he was always watching him. Soon after, San-mei's friend called, asking him to come to the hospital to pick up a body. San-mei, frustrated with his work, thought about quitting but decided to go to the hospital anyway, making his father angry. At the hospital waiting room, Xiaowen kept asking San-mei about her grandmother. His friend arrived, carrying a young girl's body, and pointed to Xiaowen. Feeling sorry for Xiaowen, San-mei promised to take her to see her grandmother if she followed his rules. He took Xiaowen to a funeral room, offered condolences to the dead girl's family, and talked about his funeral services. He also mentioned he had a daughter named Xiaowen. San-mei sent a photo of a contract letter to his father before they went to the funeral home. He told Xiaowen to stay in the car, but when she saw the coffin, she remembered her cousin saying her grandmother was inside. Ignoring San-mei, Xiaowen ran after the coffin, upsetting the mourners. Officials scolded San Mei and warned him not to come back. Back in the car, San Mei scolded Xiaowen for not listening. Xiaowen, upset, held up her stick, but San Mei told her to aim it at him. He got down to her level and pointed to the chimney on the building, explaining that her grandmother had passed away and gone to heaven. Xiaowen started to cry, realizing her grandmother was gone forever. San Mei's female friend comforted her, and his friend with glasses said her grandmother was now in heaven. San Mei added that her grandmother had become a star in the sky. Shortly after, a pink pot that San Mei had ordered arrived, meant for a client the next day. While sleeping, San Mei fell off the bed he was sharing with his friend. He noticed Xiaowen sitting outside, looking at the stars, but he ignored her and went back to sleep in his chair. The next morning, San Mei was shocked to find that Xiaowen had drawn on his client's pot. At the cremation site, San Mei nervously looked at his client. He asked his friend about the pot, but his friend couldn't fix it. San Mei covered the box with a black cloth and tried to apologize. His impatient client grabbed it from him. The client was touched when he saw the scribbled pink box, explaining that their daughter loved to draw. The client's wife kindly fixed Xiaowen's hair, and they thanked San Mei. Back at home, they all shared snacks. San Mei's friend with glasses said Xiaowen wasn't so troublesome after all. San Mei scolded Xiaowen when she dropped a snack and tried to eat it, but then he saw the jar had something inedible. Worried, he saw that Xiaowen had already swallowed it and rushed her to the hospital. At the hospital, Xiaowen was checked and allowed to go home. Back at the house, Xiaowen came out of the bathroom, and the adults quickly searched for the swallowed object. They found it and confirmed that Xiaowen was okay. After this, San Mei got a call from Xiaowen's uncle. Later, he and his friends visited the uncle's house. There, a dispute arose because the uncle hesitated to take care of Xiaowen. His wife complained that he cared more about other people's children than his own. Xiaowen followed San Mei and his friends home, and San Mei agreed to take care of her. During the car ride, San Mei's friend teased him about scolding Xiaowen before. When they arrived home, San Mei's father was waiting for them. As soon as San Mei got out of the car, his father hit him, angry that San Mei had taken in a young girl. When his father tried to hit him again, Xiaowen stepped in and told him to stop. San Mei's father threatened to disown him before leaving. Upset by the incident, San Mei had trouble sleeping and went to the sofa, looking at his phone. He was shocked to see a wedding invitation from his ex-girlfriend and then fell off his chair. Xiaowen, who was awake, saw this and quietly laughed at San Mei's bad luck. The following morning, San Mei woke up to Xiaowen tapping his face. She asked for his phone number and saved it on her smartwatch. Playfully, Xiaowen sent him a photo of his fall from the previous night, smiling mischievously as San Mei looked at the image. They had breakfast outside, where Xiaowen quickly ate her noodles. San Mei told her to eat slowly and not to pick up dropped noodles, but Xiaowen said her grandmother always let her. San Mei gently scolded her. Later, they parted for a while, but San Mei got a call from Xiaowen asking him to meet at the park. There, she introduced him to an elderly man who wanted to plan his own funeral. San Mei was unsure about arranging a funeral for someone still alive, but the grandfather offered a lot of money for an imperial-style ceremony. San Mei's friend agreed without asking him. That evening, San Mei, his two friends, and Xiaowen had a meal together, creating a small celebration. San Mei even toasted with Xiaowen, showing their growing bond. They started planning the event for the grandfather, renting traditional clothes and hiring people to attend. On the day of the event, everyone wore fancy costumes and makeup. Paid mourners cried, led by San Mei's friend. Soon, the grandfather's family arrived and took San Mei to the police station. There, San Mei and his friends sat quietly as the family argued with the officers. Xiaowen noticed a wound on San Mei's head from earlier and tried to clean it with her saliva, saying her grandmother believed it could prevent infection. The officers eventually came over for signatures, allowing them to leave. As they went downstairs, San Mei met the grandfather, who explained he spent his money to stop family conflicts. Thankful for Xiaowen's grandmother, he thanked San Mei. When they got home, San Mei was shocked to see his father breaking windows in anger over the fake funeral. Xiaowen stepped in and took the blame, defending San Mei. San Mei then poured out his feelings, telling his father about all the misunderstandings. His older sister slapped him and told their father to leave San-mei alone, leaving him in tears. Later that night, San-mei fixed Xiaowen's broken stick. She suddenly started crying, confusing San-mei. He asked her why she was upset. Xiaowen tearfully admitted feeling guilty for always causing trouble for him. San-mei reassured her and gently told her to sleep, promising that the stars would visit her dreams as her grandmother. Xiaowen also asked San-mei to fix her broken smartwatch. San-mei took a red square clock from her and drew a temporary clock on her hand. The next morning, Xiaowen saw a neighbor's son her age reading poetry aloud. San-mei called her to breakfast, realizing it was time for her to start school. San-mei decided to enroll Xiaowen in school and visited her uncle to discuss it. He asked about Xiaowen's parents and learned that her mother had died and her father's identity was unknown, leaving her uncle devastated. San-mei decided to take responsibility for Xiaowen's schooling, but the regulations required a married guardian, disqualifying single San-mei from adoption. San-mei then visited his female friend's house. She noticed his cologne and drew closer, but soon after, his male friend came out of the bathroom, revealing they had secretly married. San-mei laughed in surprise and relief, knowing his friends would become Xiaowen's legal guardians. At school, Xiaowen hesitated to enter, so San-mei had to carry her inside against her will. After dropping Xiaowen off at school, San-mei took her smartwatch to the repair center. When Xiaowen came home, San-mei gave her the repaired smartwatch. She asked if her grandmother's voice could still be heard on it, and was sad to realize she would never hear her grandmother's voice again. San-mei comforted her, promising that miracles could happen. While San-mei was reading an old book, his ex-girlfriend arrived. She told him that her husband had died in a tragic accident, and his body was badly injured. She asked for San-mei's help, but he firmly said no. However, Xiaowen insisted they go to the park, where they unexpectedly saw San-mei's father dancing with women. Xiaowen urged San-mei to talk to his father, saying they needed his help. Reluctantly, San-mei's father agreed, and San-mei faced the decomposed body of his ex-girlfriend's husband. The sight overwhelmed San-mei, making him almost vomit and cry, but his father's encouragement helped him stay calm. With his father's instructions, San-mei carefully reconstructed the body. When San-mei's ex-girlfriend thanked him, his father suddenly collapsed. San-mei's sister blamed him for giving their father alcohol, causing his collapse. Upset by his sister's accusation, San-mei asked his father's permission to visit Xiaowen's school to get away from the tense situation at home. In his absence, San-mei's father secretly felt proud, seeing his son show care and responsibility. At school, San-mei saw Xiaowen and the neighbor's son performing a drama where the boy's mother was portrayed as dead. The boy's real mother got upset, causing Xiaowen's teacher to scold San-mei and his friends. The teacher was also worried about Xiaowen's drawing of a funeral. After visiting his father, San-mei found Xiaowen studying in dim light. He turned on the room light, and Xiaowen greeted him warmly. Days passed, and San-mei continued his funeral work while Xiaowen went to school. They sometimes enjoyed outings and trips to the beach. San-mei worked hard to get a recording of Xiaowen's grandmother's voice. With the help of IT experts, he finally got the recording on a flash drive. One day, Xiaowen came home to find the house clean and decorated for her birthday. San-mei gave her grandmother's restored tiger doll. When Xiaowen pressed the tiger's tail, she heard her grandmother's voice and cried with joy. San-mei cared deeply for Xiaowen, and she hugged him, both in tears. San-mei took her to school and, on the way back, met Xiaowen's uncle and a woman who said she was Xiaowen's mother. San-mei didn't believe them and accused them of lying. The uncle left tiredly, but the woman showed proof of her identity. She explained that she had been in prison abroad and couldn't contact Xiaowen. San-mei was still doubtful and walked away. In the evening, San-mei tied Xiaowen's hair and asked about her mother. Xiaowen sadly said she didn't have one and went to bed. Later, the woman returned, pleading with San-mei for 3 days with Xiaowen. San-mei agreed reluctantly after discussing it with his friends. During these days, San-mei spent special moments with Xiaowen, cooking meals and enjoying happy times together. Xiaowen noticed San-mei's hidden sadness and asked him about it, but he reassured her. Xiaowen mentioned a parent-teacher meeting and wanted only one person to go with her. San-mei attended the meeting and joined a parent-child competition, performing a fan dance that delighted the children. Xiaowen showed a self-portrait of San-mei, thanking him for being a father figure. That night, as San Mei tied her hair again, he asked about her real father. Xiaowen answered sleepily and fell asleep. Later, it started to rain, and Xiaowen's mother came by taxi. San Mei gently placed Xiaowen in the taxi, gave her belongings to the mother, and shared Xiaowen's preferred sleeping position, showing his deep concern. Amid their disagreement, Xiaowen woke up and called San Mei her father. As the taxi drove away, San Mei, overwhelmed with emotion, chased after it in the rain but eventually stopped in the middle of the road. The following day, San Mei lay quietly listening to his friends arguing about Xiaowen leaving. Soon after, San Mei received terrible news that his father had died. Grieving for both his father and Xiaowen, San Mei took on the responsibility of handling his father's affairs, including the cremation. Although his sister wanted to bury their father's ashes, San Mei honored his father's wishes. With the help of his friends, he took the ashes to the beach, placed them in a tube, and set them alight. The ashes rose into the sky like fireworks. At that moment, San Mei understood his father's desire for a simple goodbye. On the car ride home, still upset from the day's events, San Mei got a call saying Xiaowen was missing. He searched for her late into the night and returned home exhausted. Just as he was about to rest, he heard Xiaowen scream nearby. San Mei rushed to her and scolded her, but Xiaowen said she would never be truly lost because she remembered her father's details. San Mei couldn't stay mad and hugged her warmly. Meanwhile, San Mei's friends organized a wedding celebration. Xiaowen's mother briefly appeared to return her daughter's belongings, which San Mei accepted gratefully. He then invited her to join his business, hoping to maintain a relationship between her and Xiaowen. That night, they all gathered under the stars, reflecting on everything they had been through together. So the moral of the story is, if you ever find yourself running a funeral business, accidentally becoming a single dad, and getting beat up by your own dad, just remember, life's full of unexpected plot twists, but at least you might get some cute drawings and a little girl who thinks you're a hero.